this is Ocelot. I'm here in the Twitch TV launch and have some fun here.
Hey guys, it's Connie here at the Twitch TV after party, and it's pretty awesome.
Hey, yeah, I'm Diggity Scar here in the Twitch TV's Players Lounge. I'm here surrounded by all the players, and I'm having a great time. Thank you, Twitch.
Huge shout out to Twitch TV. Thanks for throwing this awesome party here.
Hey, what's up everybody? Kobe Cheese here, and I'm going to be streaming another match today at PAX East Boston 2012. So I'm super excited to be here and super excited for everyone here watching today as well as everybody at home. So I've got another match that was sent in by somebody I'm going to be doing a commentary of, and this one that I have today is about a platinum level game on Lux, and so I've always thought Lux was a really fun champion to watch, and I figured it would be a great chance to show that off here at PAX, so I thought you guys would like that. Let me just jump in real quick and pull up the replay, and we'll start talking about the match and how it's going to be running down. So as that's pulling up, we'll talk about that here. But Lux is one of those champions that I don't normally play her a lot. I have played her a few times, so I understand how she works. I'm a big fan of AP mid champions, and this is going to be an AP mid Lux as well. I believe so anyways, that's what I was told. And so you're going to expect, you know, some big damage coming out. I know that Lux originally was planned to be a support champion, but they decided, or not they decided, but with her big AP ratios, she ends up being better off as a carry just because of how much damage she can do at such a long range. And it works out really well. She can farm quite well at a good range. And the only problem that she really encounters at a very large level is her mana cost. So as a Lux player, you really want to rely on that jungle to help you out getting those blue buffs, and that's going to help you out a whole lot more in the lane. If you really want to shut down a Lux as an enemy team, you want to grab that blue buff from her as much as possible, and that will really help you out if you're going to be laning against the Lux, because she can't spam her spells as much as she would like to. So in this game here, from what I can tell, it might be a fairly hard game for her, as with Kassadin against her. If she goes mid against Kassadin, Kassadin is one of those assassins that can jump around easily, can dodge her skill shots and her bindings and take her down. So she's going to really have to watch out for that. On the other hand, let's take a look. They've got a Jungle Yi, probably not going to be a huge threat from getting ganked in the jungle. He can definitely jump in there very fast and uses Alpha Strike to jump onto her. So if Kassadin goes in, slows her down, and then Yi catches up, she could be taking a lot of damage if she doesn't land her binding onto him. For example, it's really easy to miss your binding on a Master Yi if he's Alpha Striking at you and you just shoot your binding right through him. That is definitely a problem. I believe that Lux is actually one of the only champions in the game that has every single one of her abilities as a skill shot. And Ezreal would be the next closest one, but he does have his Arcane Shift, which will automatically shoot to the closest target, whereas even her defensive ability is a skill shot. Now, obviously, it'll hit herself automatically, but if you're going to hit a teammate with that shield, then that is obviously going to be a skill shot. So I'm going to be watching as she runs up to the top lane here. Apparently, she doesn't want to go against Kassadin. In fact, they're going to have Pantheon go against Cassidy. That's actually a really smart choice. She is going to have a little bit of a trouble early on against, I believe it was Gangplank that she's going to be laying against. Yeah, Gangplank. So I can't see her doing really well in either lane, to be perfectly honest. But if she does play safe and she farms up and gets her items going, I think she can do quite well a little bit later on. And I like to see how this Pantheon does. Now, I am going to mention right now early on that, we might actually have some early aggression. Let's see what happens. Oh, he does get a nice grab onto the Corki, but he flashes out of there. And looks like he will be saved jumping over the wall. So no first blood's going to be happening there. Normally when you see a Blitzcrank on the enemy team, you can almost always expect that they want to do some kind of early aggression, as he's just so good at making those kills happen. I'm just surprised that they weren't able to follow up on that. Do they not have any extra stuns? Yeah, that's actually probably why. If they had any other stuns, if they had like a Tarek or a Scion, I could have seen that kill go down much, much easier. In this particular case here, though, what's up? Okay. In this particular case here, I have a feeling, though, that this Lux is going to really just have to play safe. She's going to get hit by the cannonballs from Gangplank constantly every time she goes up for a last hit. I mean, I can't see any reason why he would not want to trade that harass. I don't think that he's going to take too much in return if he runs up, hits her with that Q, and that's exactly what you're seeing already. Obviously, he's not going to run into the tower, but he's got much lower cooldowns on that and much easier for him on the mana cost. Huh? No. I can't hear it. All right. So anyways, sorry, just asking about the game sound there. First blood's already happening down on the bottom lane. Looks like Janna was taken down by the Vayne. But anyways, I was going to say earlier that I'm going to try and keep my eye on this Lux. This is a LOL replay file. It's not a live game. So if I scroll to somewhere that Lux was not looking at the time, then you won't actually see the health bars. So if I scroll over here, you're not going to see the health bars of these guys. So it's kind of hard to commentate what is happening on the rest of the game. And normally with my style of commentaries on these the replays, on the commentary analysis that I get sent, I actually just want to focus on that champion and how that particular player plays. And here we go, already a little bit of aggression. She tried to run into the bush to get a little bit of action happening. Probably wasn't the best choice. She thought she can juke something out there. Ended up dying for that, getting ignited by the Gangplank as he does take her down. So already off to a bad start. They've lost 2 kills. They got first blooded on bottom lane, and now top is having a little bit of trouble as well. Really, we want this Pantheon to do well in the middle lane. I think he's going to be a critical part of this team, at least early on. And Olaf, doing some counter jungle over here, does pick up Master Yi and will be stealing his blue buff. Already had the blue as well. So that's going to be really useful. It looks like the jungle is doing well, and I'm guessing that Pantheon should be doing okay as also. He's not actually very far ahead, but oh, look at this. Gangplank did come down to try and stop that Olaf, and that was a very bad decision for him, as he could possibly get dove here. And luckily for him, the creeps were at the tower. All he has to do is back off and wait for the tower to attack the creeps again. He's going to run up there and use his true damage. Boom, he goes down very quickly. And will he make it out? Nice job. Lux gets there just in time to save him with that shield. That was so perfect, and that was awesome. There was no way he's going to get out of there without the help of Lux's shield. And that's the cool thing about Lux's shield, is it can hit 2 times. So that's a lot of extra protection for you. And Master Yi here going to be hanging out in the lane, trying to help out until the Gangplank does return. He doesn't really pick up that many creeps, so not going to get a huge advantage out of that. And it doesn't look like Lux lost too many creeps. Of course, she is still at level 2, so that's not the best position to be in. But you know, as long as she can sit here and farm safely, she'll be okay. The unfortunate thing about being Lux in the top lane is that you don't have that easy access to the blue buff, at least not on purple team. It would not be as bad if she was a blue team Lux on top, as she can just you know, head down to the blue area and pick up a blue from the team there at that point. In this case here, though, I have a feeling that oh, this could be bad. Looks like they already switched, and they're going to have Gameplay go middle lane. I'm not sure why, because he was doing great at the top against the Lux there, and it didn't seem like the Cassidy was having that much trouble. He was only like 4 CS behind, so I'm not really sure if that trade was the best choice overall. But at the same time, once Cassidy does hit level 6, it is going to be very scary for Lux to deal with. But until then, I think Lux actually could possibly have an advantage as long as she lands her skill shots and uses her mana wisely. Unfortunately, she did miss that light binding there. and wasn't able to lay that off. And as you can see, she's already low on mana. Looks like once again, and Olaf does pick up a kill onto the Master Yi, and the Gangplank was there to try and help out. Didn't actually do so. In fact, lost his life in the process. So now Purple team already up 2 kills after those early engages. So it seems like Olaf is making a big difference in this game, and that could really help Lux out in the early as well as the bottom lane, since they did fall behind there as well. Let's see how they're doing on that farm. Let me watch what happens here. Wow, big damage coming down. Lux running into the bush, not actually noticing, maybe even trying to bait that out a little bit, but a flash was used. If he did not use that flash, he would have grabbed the kill. However, he will fall to this Olaf. Almost gets him kited, just can't do that. Really hard to run away from an Olaf, as he does have that axe to throw at you constantly and slow you. Every time he picks that up, he's going to refresh the cooldown. So really strong spill overall. Love that thing. Olaf is one of my favorite top lane champions, especially with that Brolaf skin. Bro. Of course, this guy doesn't have it, unfortunately, so major fail there. All right, we're just going to wait for Lux. Looks like she will be going to the middle lane now, so that is good. Hopefully she'll be able to pick up the blue buff at this point. Down 0-2 right now, so not having the best game. But again, Lux does start to get stronger once she picks up her items. She is one of those champions that can really lay down the hurts once she picks up a death cap. Right now going for a Doran's ring and 3 health potions to help her sustain in the lane. Nice job on the shield. If she can throw out her shield on herself every time right before that bullet hits, then that is going to protect her from quite a large amount of damage. Now, you may have seen there another kill there for Pantheon, so he seems to be doing quite well early on. Or by another, I mean he got a kill there, so the first one was an assist. So far they are 6-3 at this point. And right now, Gangplank going to be trying to lay down as much harass as possible. And Lux already low on mana, but the blue buff is up. So hopefully Olaf will run that way and try and help out. And she is kind of running towards this bush area here. You do see Olaf on the mini-map, and you can tell that he is trying his best to hang out here in counter jungle. And I know that he's looking for that Master Yi, as he is much stronger than him at this point. In fact, there is the Master Yi. You can see this. He's playing very strong at this point. He does miss his axe throw, so not going to get that slow, but he does use his exhaust to keep that going, and a Gangplank ultimate tries to help out as much as possible. Nice alpha strike by Master Yi to try and escape. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He does miss his axe, but here comes Blitzcrank, and nice job. Elia jumps over the wall with her binding to pick up that kill, and now a pull grabs Olaf, takes him down. Will Lux be able to escape? She's going to have to get out of there, and there's just way too many people. The entire team came down. That's going to be 4 versus her. They did take one down, but lost 2 in the process. Overall, a nice exchange. It just wasn't executed fast enough before the enemy team was able to respond to that. And that is the dangers of counter jungling. And now at this point, Lux is going to lose all of that farm. That is just unfortunate. That is so much. That is one of the worst feelings in the world whenever you lose a fight like that. And then on top of that, it's like another slap to the face when you lose all of those creeps. I mean, that is a huge deal right there. We do have Pantheon coming down from the top lane. Let's see if he can make something happen onto the Caston. And of course, now that Caston is at level 7, he can just jump away very easily, avoiding that stun and damage that Pantheon can do. In fact, he's already back out of the way, not worried about that too much. Although Pantheon does have this ward here, so he could come in here and steal this red from the, man, this is not looking good. DX30 gonna fall to that ignite most likely, and the exhaust goes down. Will that last tick pick it up? Oh no, it's not. He actually does get away, but he's gonna jump in there. Let's see if the jump will kill him, and it's gonna land right on his face, and he picks up the red, and that was a sick jump. Very nice prediction on the location of where he was running. And, oh, is he going to get away from this Blitzcrank? Blitzcrank run in there as fast as he can, trying to use the bush to juke out of there, and looks like Immortal Panda with not much mana, but does get the nice stun off into the wall, and he will be pulled back. I don't know if he's going to go away. Yes, he does give that red now to the bottom lane, and that is going to be terrible for the bot lane, as that Vayne was already doing a good job against Corki. So we'll see how that kind of handles in the bottom lane. Let's see how they're doing there. Vayne at 62. Corki actually coming ahead on farm, so that's not too bad. It's just that with Vayne with 3 kills is very scary. As most people know, Vayne becomes a super hyper carry with a couple kills, and especially late game, she's going to be extremely dangerous if she continues picking up kills like this. So they're going to have to be very careful with the way they play around her, and they don't want to give her any more kills. Finally, at 10 minutes, Lux is finally going to get her first blue of the game, and that's going to be great. So she's going to have that to spam out her shields to protect from the Gameplay's Qs, as well as harass and farm as much as she wants. Let's take a look at the farm right now. She's actually doing quite bad. She's only at 36 farms, so she's been really behind this whole time. And that's one of the unfortunate things about Lux, is that she can be a really strong champion and farm safely in a lot of different cases, but there are definitely some situations where Lux is very weak. And if you don't get an early game advantage, or you're not against somebody that Lux is strong against, it's going to be really difficult for you. And that's just kind of what this shows here. I know the person that sent this clip in does actually play Lux quite often. Oh, wow, look at this. A lot of aggression coming in with that gank from Master Yi, but they are going to back off as they see Olaf, and he is quite scary right now with that red buff. Of course, he is a little bit low on mana, but he could have just sat there and used his auto attack to really do some work. Plus, his E does not cost mana. It only costs HP, so he would have been fine. All right, here we go. Light Binding being placed down to do some damage on those creeps. And once you get enough damage with Lux, she can pretty much destroy that whole wave. Of course, she only has 2 Dorans at this point, so she's not able to completely do that yet until she picks up her needlessly large rod, I believe. Looks like she's going to stand on the other side, try and pick up a kill onto this Master Yi. This is a very sneaky move by her. If she can land a binding and her ultimate, she might be able to pick that up. Of course, she lost vision, so I guess she's just going to run right back around to the other side and not go for that. That is a cool thing about Lux, is if you have an eye for it, you can actually look out for the times when people are going to be in certain areas and pick up those crazy kills on top of them. Looks like Cassidy did not want to get grabbed by that Lux binding. He jumped over the wall there to escape. Lux is going to be heading back to the top lane. Now that she has that blue buff, she feels very confident to be going up against the Gangplank. Doesn't want to have to deal with Cassidy herself. And it looks like there will be a gank attempt over here, but Blitzcrank is there to do the counter gank. Exhaust goes down, and Cassidy will fall. Master Yi tries to help out, but he gets way too low. That Olaf is wrecking shop right now, and they are saying, let's get out of here. Olaf is a beast, and I don't want to deal with that. Okay, top lane here. Let's take a look at Lutz once again. She's going to be farming again. I think that if Gangplank runs into this bush, she's going to be really scary, and that's exactly what he does. Nice binding, though, is going to keep him at bay. That's a great thing about having that, is if you do have somebody try to put some aggression on you or gank you, you can bind up to 2 people with that binding. Of course, the second target is going to have reduced binding effect, but it's usually long enough for you to escape and get out of there. And nice job there. I like the fact that Lux does have that extra DPS option. She can shoot you from long range and hit you with a little bit of damage, but then once she hits you with it, she can run up and auto attack you for that extra little pop of damage. And let's see, right now she's got an extra, 100 magic damage if she auto attacks them after using a spell. So a lot of combo opportunities. Lux just shows, it's one of those really higher skill cap champions. You don't see a lot of players use it, even in high elo, just because she has a lot of opportunities to fail, and people usually like to stick to the easier targets that do well. And this could be a really nasty gank. The Gangplank ultimate going off at the tower. I'm definitely not seeing her get away from this, as Cassidy had her sandwiched in. There was just absolutely no escape. Really, the only way to escape from that was to see him coming up from the bottom lane, but they have no wards. Usually a good chance for wards is you want to have those wards in the area right here. But you can't always do that, especially whenever you don't know that they're going to be coming up from the middle lane. So that's just an unfortunate gank there, and we'll have to wait for Lux to come back up. She does finally have her needlessly large rod at this point, so should significantly increase her DPS at this point. You can see right now with her combo, she can do a pretty massive amount of damage. And unfortunately, only level 9, so it doesn't have the level 2 ultimate yet. But once she picks that up, I can imagine several kills coming in. We haven't seen a lot of dragon aggression yet. This is, by the way, a solo queue match, so not going to be like a ranked 5s team. That's why we haven't seen the dragon as of yet. And a lot of team play, lots of ganking going on. And that's just kind of the difference that you see between solo queue and those the real team games where everybody's grouping up and doing crazy stuff all together in a team all the time. In this case, you'll see a mix of people grouping up and a mix of people going around and ganking. That's just what solo queue is all about. It's just a different play style altogether. But I love it. I mean, it's something about League of Legends that's fun. Of course, you have your ragers and your quitters and and all the people that make you not want to play the game. But then the next game you play, it's a whole lot of fun, and everyone's making jokes, and that's just the cool thing about playing games online in general, I think. So anyways, looks like Lux is going to be coming down towards the dragon area. They do want to finally pick that up and possibly even grab a kill here. And Master Yi coming into the bush. He is going to get binded, and the ultimate goes down. Big damage, and he just gets melted as she grabs that red buff from him. And this dragon is going to be open for the taking for Purple Team. They are doing quite well. They are now up 2 kills, and this dragon will definitely keep them in the lead as well. Purple ward going down from Janna, going to help them. Oh, look at that grab. Blitzcrank was trying and hoping that he would pick up a kill from that. Of course, nobody was crazy enough to stand on that side of the dragon, and they do grab the dragon there, so no problem. Blitzcrank going to be on the run. He definitely do not want to stay in for that, and Lux's blue is up. Perfect timing right after the dragon. Grabs a red from killing Master Yi, gets a blue. This is just the best combo situation that I can possibly see happening. So I can definitely see a grin on her face right now. And so I imagine she's going to hang out in the lane. No real reason to go back right now, as she can continue to farm out until that blue buff does expire. And probably just wants to farm up enough to pick up that death cap as soon as possible, as once she has that death cap, she's going to be comboing people down from more than half HP at least. So we'll see how that works out. And let's take a look again at the scoreboard and see who's doing really. Olaf, you can tell, has been just completely demolished in this game. And that's just really rewarding, as Olaf is generally not one of the strongest junglers, but the way he's been playing Olaf this game is quite impressive. So if you're a jungler, I definitely keep note of what he's been doing. And if you haven't been watching him on the mini-map, he has been doing a great job of running into the enemy jungle and paying attention to where the buffs are and the timers of the buffs. You got to know that the timers on the jungle buffs are 5 minutes for the red and the blue. So if you keep that in mind, you'll know that, for example, if the enemy starts at blue buff, and you usually know they're going to start at blue, that it's going to be back at around 7.5 minutes. So if you can be there to counter jungle that before that and wait for them, and you're stronger than them in a 1v1 situation, you can counter jungle that. And he did the same thing in red. He put that ward down at the red buff area, and he ran around, and he was able to pick up some kills on the Master Yi, and he was able to counter jungle him quite consistently, and it was very strong. And that's what allowed Olaf to do very well in the jungle, is not by ganking the lanes, but by ganking the enemy jungle. And if you can shut down the enemy jungle, then that's actually a significant amount of pressure that you're taking off of the other lanes, because then at that point the other lanes aren't able to get ganked. And now another looks like not good for Pantheon up top lane, as that Master Yi did come in with a full-scale gank attempt, and there was no way he was getting out of that one. So unfortunately, this top lane might actually go down. Oh, I'm going to look in the middle lane here, as okay, I saw a little bit of red flashing, but nothing real crazy happening. I thought that Cassidy was probably jumping on Lux there. Nice binding going down. If she can continue to get that damage using her combo and auto attack to do as much damage as possible, if she was able to get him down to a little less than half, she might have been able to ultimate. And if she can get one more binding, he is definitely going to fall here. So he's got to be very careful. It's only going to take one binding and ultimate. He is done. And he's playing a dangerous game hanging out here. When you're around a Lux like this, I mean, there's just not much you can do. In bottom lane, actually losing their Janna to the Vayne. So it looks like not even a gank, and probably just a standard exchange. Yeah, that Cassidy was not able to defend his tower. He literally had to stay back in order to avoid damage from that Lux, and she just easily was able to push that down. Of course, at the same time, they did take that top tower, and Death Noob up here able to kill one, but they lost 2 towers for that. So definitely worth it. Even if they lose 2 people here, which they... Oh, nice snipe from Lux, picking up that kill and saving Pantheon from halfway on mid. That was a sick play there, and I was sure that Pantheon was going to fall, but Lux said, nope, got your back, buddy. And that's what Lux is all about, and that's why people play Lux. Like, she's really hard in the laning phase, but once you get that ultimate and you get you some ability power built up, just pew, pew, pew all over the map, and some sick stuff right there. Again, though, they unfortunately lost those 2 towers. That's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage for them. They do want to pick up some towers of their own to compensate. Luckily, they do have the dragon, so they have that one global gold advantage in their favor. Of course, towers on the middle area here do count for more, so that's a pretty good amount for them. Looks like Lux does finally have enough for her death cap, so she's about to get much scarier, from 176 up to 307 ability power. So if you thought her Lux lasers were hurting, wait until you see the next one. All right, she is still negative at this point. She has had a rough start with those ganks. I mean, they've had some pretty sick ganks on her at this point, but I think she should be able to come back. She's got her death cap. She's got 2 door ends rings, and it's getting more towards the middle game. We're going to see more grouping up and team fights. So I think we should see her doing okay. She actually looks like she picked up a Sagely Spores, which is your blue elixir there now. I guess for this patch, it's going to be Sagely Spores. And, well, actually, before I talk about that, looks like some more action happened on the bottom lane as this Vayne has been doing some real work on them. But Olaf is down here, and he is a beast. He's going to be taking her out and going for another kill. Actually, Corky grabbing that one. And at the same time, Lux actually fell to another gank up in the middle lane. Let's see if Pantheon can make anything happen there. I think he might actually be able to kill this guy if he turns. Oh, maybe not. That's way too much damage. Changed my mind. So he thought he was strong enough. But, yeah, definitely not going to be able to take out that Master Yi. Those crits are just way too heavy to deal with. Olaf, though, he's feeling pretty confident. He does have that Oracles. When you have an Oracles, you usually want to play a little bit more safe. Of course, they are quite low HP, and I think he can do some massive damage if he is able to find that Yi. But I'm guessing Yi went back around probably to his blue area or just went back to base in general. All right, this game is really close. We're at 15 to 14 kills right now, and from what I can tell, the farm is not too far off either. Vayne is 147. Yeah, look at that, almost even on farm, other than the fact that Vayne is just wrecking. You know, so we got Olaf carrying the game, and then Vayne carrying over here with her 6 kills. Of course, I think I'd be a little bit more afraid of a Vayne than an Olaf, although Olaf is just one of those champions that cannot be stopped. Once they get into a team fight, he's going to pop his ultimate, run straight in, and probably focus down that Vayne and take her down. I can definitely see that happening. What else? I don't know who else she would really focus. I mean, maybe he would focus down Cassie, but I don't see him really focusing down anyone other than Vayne, as she's probably the most scary target right now. So really their team fights should be like this. When they're all grouped up, I mean, they've got more of a kind of an assassin situation with the Cassid and the Master Yi jumping in on people. So these guys are more of a defensive, catch you in a binding and then jump on you type of setup. So if Lux can get a nice binding onto one of the team people that are actually critical to killing first, and everybody jumps on that target and she uses her laser, they'll instantly make it a 5v4 situation and probably be able to win the fight at that point. But on the other hand, this team here, they can either assassinate people or they got Blitzcrank to initiate a fight with that grab and really make a play happen. You can see that he's running in here trying to look for an opportunity to make something happen, but him leaving Vayne like that was a bad situation, as she did fall to the gank attempt by Pantheon there. And that is going to be pretty much a free dragon now without their Vayne up. I don't think they can actually stop them from doing this. Short of somebody running in there and just doing some crazy stuff. They just took down the wards, so they are able to lose that vision. And look at this damage coming in here. Lux going to be just poking down the gangplank as much as possible. They are going to try and stop this. I'm not actually sure if they got that. I think they may have stolen that dragon. I didn't see the number pop up, but I may have just missed it. And now on the run, he's going to lose his oracles if he doesn't get out. And I don't think he can escape at this point, as he is just too low, not enough HP. There's the kill for Corky, and that is 1 oracles down. And a snipe from Lux. Pew, pew. Look at that. And they're still on the chase. Gangplank trying to get away. Does flash over the wall. Will he be able to escape? I think he's going to be fine. Now that Lux laser is down, she's not going to be able to snipe him with that. But the cooldown is quite short, especially if she starts to pick up some cooldown items at this point. So getting pretty sick. Still is -1 point, but I imagine, again, we'll see some more kills from those lasers. She has been doing a great job with those so far. All right, and on the bottom lane, looks like they are just teleporting back to base, playing it safe. We'll probably group back up. Now, right now, they are going to really have to get some vision of this Baron area. If they're not careful, they could get in there and possibly steal one of those Barons from them without them even knowing about it. Of course, right now, you know they're not going to, because the Gangplank and the Vayne are both on opposite sides. So either way, though, they do need to have that vision down. Wards are a very critical part of this game, as not only do you get vision of where your enemies are moving, if you can gank somebody, if they're by themselves. There's just so many opportunities and situations that wards both open up and protect you from. Red going to be picked up. Probably going to go onto the Olaf. I can see that being strong for him either way. And bottom lane. And you know what? I don't know what is going on with this bottom lane. I'm not sure why this Vayne continues to fight in here by herself. She just gave up that red buff to the Corki, it looks like. And I'm not really sure. She's kind of making some misplays. She was doing really well early on. And now you might contribute that to the Blitzcrank not being there. And so possibly, you know, I will say this, like a lot of people devalue how important a support is. If you're a support player, your role is super important. You're almost more important than the carry because you're the person who makes the carry as strong as they are. So if without the support, the carry is nothing. I mean, so if you're playing support and you play support well, and there you go. I told you they were going to steal that Baron. Look at that. They did steal the Baron. Even though they picked up that kill on the bottom lane, that Vayne was more of like bait for them. So they didn't have the ward there, and unfortunately they got it stolen. That's just the dangers of not having that vision, especially at this point in the game. You can always expect around 20 to 24 minutes is when you really have to start definitely paying attention to that Baron area. If you don't have vision ward there, you need to all be grouped up and never be seen with more than one person on the bottom lane at that point. Otherwise, they're going to sneak that Baron, and they're going to take that right under your nose, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's exactly what happened to these guys this game. So right now, they're just going to have to play it safe. There's not much else that they can do. They're at the point right now that they, I mean, they can't straight up engage them into a fight with that Baron buff on, or they could potentially lose. Now, on the other hand, if they do grab somebody in a nice binding or something like that, they could possibly grab them and kill them. But they're getting quite tanky. You can see that Gangplank. He's already got his Warmogs and Atmas, that popular Atmogs build. Even Riot has mentioned that that's one of those strong builds up top lane that they think is hurting that top lane. And so I'd love to see a change of that one of these days, but for now it is really strong, and they are going to be jumping onto this Gangplank. They do see him all by himself, and at this point in the game, man, that sniped. See, that's why you can't be by yourself right now. You've got the Baron buff. You need to group up as a team, and you need to go push down towers. You can't be seen by yourself. Now, I don't know if that Gangplank was warding or what, but even warding the map by yourself, you can't do that. Oh, and a nice grab, but he flashes right over the wall. The Blitzcrank was not able to use his silence before she pulled herself out of that, so he probably should have used that sooner. But either way, nice flash to get out of there, and they are going to be trying to engage on this, and it is going to be, it looks like a 5v4 situation. Even though they have Baron buff, I don't think they should be able to win this, as these guys are quite strong, though Janna is really low after that grab and pull. Elia is a little bit low on mana, does not have a blue buff, so it would be really beneficial for them to get their Lux a blue. It looks like theirs is up, and an Oracle's on the Blitzcrank was just used to destroy that ward. And oh, she was able to snipe that. Yeah, she just stole the blue buff from over the wall. That is a 60. I don't even think she had vision of it. She literally just peeked over the wall. That is one of the most lucky steals ever, and that's got to feel so great right now. Once again, like I said, that's like one of those times when you're like, this is why I play Lux. Again, she's really hard in the early game. We saw that she had so much trouble early on, but like as you get later on, you get your items, it's just so much crazy possibilities can open up. All right, so Pantheon in chat saying, hey guys, let me farm up some gold. Looks like he's trying to finish off his Warden's Mail, and or I should say Randuin's. He's already got his Warden's Mail. There we go. Randuin's built up. He's got a Last Whisper, actually a little bit low on damage. Rather than having a Bloodthirst, he went straight for the Last Whisper, the armor pen there. And I imagine that's for the Gangplank, since he was landing up against him. He knew he was going to have to deal with that Atmogs build, so he decided to go for that armor pen right away. And we'll see how that works out for him. He is fairly tanky. He's got, the Randuin, so that's going to help out quite a bit to slow people down. And he's kind of playing that tanky Pantheon build. Up top lane, they are pinging that as everybody is heading that way, and they could possibly get the gank going off onto her. And this is going to be bad if he loses this Oracles, but a jump coming in from Pantheon. They do want to stop this, and I don't know if it's going to be enough, and he does fall to the Gangplank, and now Pantheon going to die as well. Probably a little bit of a misplay on his part. I don't think he should have jumped in, as it just took his teammates way too long to get there. Probably should have just let the let the Gangplank die and not end up being in a 3v5 situation now. And a nice pull gets Corki, and he's gonna fall, and snipe being used. A lot of damage going down. Good gosh, I think she was just below full health when that hit, and that took her so low. And they might actually, yeah, they do take out the turret. They're probably going to be able to grab the inhibitor here, as they just don't have enough to defend this. Lux does have blue buff, but not really any mana to accompany it. Already used her ultimate, so down goes the inhibitor. And that's just, that's how League of Legends works, man. I mean, you make one misstep like that, and you're going to get punished for it, especially in high elo like this, where people normally know how to punish you for your mistakes. And that's really the main thing that I see as a difference between high and low elo games, is that in high elo matches you get punished a lot more for being in the wrong situation. And just like I said, this Master Yi, oh, that was a nice bait actually, pulling in Olaf after they tried to chase him as the team was close enough. Ultimate being used by Janna does push him out. Cassidy does look like he wants to chase, but he's going to play it safe and not do the crazy thing and jump past that bush. And so they do take down the middle turret. Looks like right now blue team is on a roll. They are just destroying towers left and right. They took the Baron. They're taking down kills. And right now purple has to play it safe. They need to stop getting caught one by one, and they need to go for a team fight. Right now what's been happening is they've been getting caught up at the top lane. They lost 2, and they lost another one just there. Their Olaf got grabbed. And those type of situations are what can lose an entire game for you, even if you're winning. And another grab gets Death Noob pulled in there. Luckily, he's tanky enough to handle that at this point. And so a full fight comes in. A lot of damage coming in. It looks like they could possibly win this. Death Noob is able to take out Cassidy, and a snipe gets a lot of damage, and down goes the Vayne. And I think this is going to be a very close fight. Yeah, they're just going to be able to clean this up, no problem. It looks like they did take the dragon, though, so they weren't able to stop that in time. But either way, they do win that fight. And I think that the only one that got away was Blitzcrank, and he barely had any HP at all. And I would have liked to have seen that Lux snipe hit on both. But unfortunately, no lucky one there. So right now, I could say that blue team was on a roll and they were pushing it in, but after that fight, it's kind of shifted back in the favor of purple team. So right now, they just need to take down a couple of towers. Obviously, they are down on the inhibitor advantage, and that is a serious thing to worry about, as they're going to have those super creeps going up top lane. They have to definitely deal with that. But if they can take down this turret in the middle lane, that should help them out a little bit. Eventually they need to get down. Wow, that damage going down onto the Blitzcrank. And he could lose his Oracles here to the Olaf. That was a bad play on his part. I don't know what he was thinking with that Oracles, trying to defend the tower solo against 2 such strong champions. Oh, man, that is unfortunate right there. All right, you can see up top lane, and they are just farming as much as possible, trying to hold off those super creeps as long as they possibly can. And we'll see if they can continue to do so. And let's just take a look at these Lux items. She picked up a Deathfire Grasp. So not only is she going to be able to snipe people down extremely long ranges, but if she gets in close, she's just going to burst them down to full, or from full, with her Deathfire first into another combo. And look at that creep farm right there. That is where you just smile and say, give me that farm. But unfortunately, the Corki came in there and was like, I'm going to take some of that, sorry. And look at this Baron. I think that blue team is going to be eyeing this right now. They know that there are 2 on the bottom lane. They need to get back as soon as possible. And yes, like I said, they have started that. Ooh, look at that Vayne. She actually has a Guardian Angel. She will be able to revive even if they kill her. And it looks like Pantheon does jump in on this, so they are going to be backing off. That's going to be a dangerous situation for them to start fighting Baron, as Baron does a lot of damage onto enemy champions and I think lowers their attack damage. I don't know, some kind of nasty debuff. I don't like it. And Death Noob here taking lots of hits. Will be at half HP, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for them. Oh, it looks like Cassidy is going to be jumping in here, and I'm sure this grab will land on somebody. Death Noob does fall to Immortal Panda, and this Vayne is so scary right now that she's going to flash over the wall, probably lose this Oracles in the process. Doesn't look like her ultimate is going to save her, and Immortal Panda picking up another kill. This Vayne is so scary right now. And I think that they can just skip Baron and go straight for this inhibitor if they want. Let's see if they decide to do that, or if they actually do go for the Baron. So yes, according to this ward, looks like Master Yi is going to try and pick up that Baron. And let's see if Lux can grab a steal here. She has the ward, so if they don't smite this properly, it looks like she is going to come in for a sniper steal. And actually getting grabbed though, that is unfortunate. Oh, but she does snipe it. She steals it, even though she got grabbed. She's still the Baron buff. Oh man, that was so sick. At this point, I think blue team, they really should have just pushed up the middle lane. They had a lot of creeps there, and they could have jumped in on that. It would have been a 5v3 situation, but now they lost the Baron and possibly a little bit of the advantage. Of course, now they can push in that, and that's exactly what they could have done previously, but they gave them Baron buff for that. And that was just a sick snipe, so very well played by Lux. Even though she got grabbed, she was still able to make it happen. And nice job. Corky now has his own Guardian Angel, so both carries for both teams. They each have their own Guardian Angel, and that's going to come into play in the next full team fight. I think right now this game's going to come down to, like, well, who is going to get caught into another team fight. Oh man, is that another grab? Look at this grabs. This Blitzcrank has been being a boss all game long, but Death Noob is actually able to take down Master Yi. So much damage from him at this point, and now they're going to be chasing him down. Probably going to lose another Oracles. This guy is going to fall. He's already lost his Mana Shield. He goes down. Kalea, oh man, so much damage from Corky right now. He's got his Infinity Edge and a Bloodthirster, and there we go. That is going to push them back, and Death Noob is able to also pick up a kill onto Kassadin. So really sick play overall by Purple Team. Not only do they have the Baron buff, nice job by the Lux. They were able to pick up a few more kills from Blue Team, just overstepping their boundaries, trying to push in and steal the blue buff. Not in their best favor overall, and I think they're going to definitely have a great chance to come back from this. And so Pantheon still not going for more damage. He knows that he needs to be tanky, as the Olaf right now is, you know, he's tanky as well. So they got two super tanky people that can just run in there, and they can face tank a ton of damage and not really worry about that as much, while they got these really squishy guys in the back. They've got their Lux, and they've got their Corky sitting in the back just being artillery the whole time. And here we go. They need to be a little bit careful here. It's all by themselves. She is able to use that. So much damage right now. Listen, how much does that do right now? Wow. Her laser does just shy of 1,000 damage with just her laser. And then let's see. Her passive will hit for 190. So if she actually hits a spell first, she's going to be doing over 1,000 damage with one laser, because the, by the way, if you didn't know already, her ultimate laser will actually pop any of her illumination flares that she has on her target. So it's always good to hit somebody with a Lucent Singularity or land one of your light bindings and then shoot them with the Finale's Vulcan, and that's going to be the most amount of damage that you can do with that combo. Right now she has a Void Staff built up as well, so any kind of magic resist that the enemy team has is going to be pierced by 40%. That's going to be very helpful right now. He does have a Negatron Cloak. You can tell that the Gangplank is trying to do his best to stop some of that damage that Lux has been placing down in this game. She is the only real magic damage. Corky has a little bit of magic damage, but at this point in the game, it's mostly physical that he's going to be laying down with his auto attacks and piercing with his abilities also. Looks like he will be going for that Triforce, and up top lane looks like a little bit of trouble for Olaf. He's trying to get out of there as much as he can. I think he's going to be fine. He's so tanky. He was able to survive that. Unfortunately, they do lose their inhibitor at this point. Pantheon going to be jumping in. Might be a little bit too late. I don't think he can land much. In fact, he doesn't get any landing at all. Even if he had landed on Gangplank, he would have aided an orange and it would have been K. We've got Jana coming in here. She's in the front of the line. She's like, go ahead, grab me. I'm kind of tanky at this point. I don't really care. I'm just a support anyways. And if they do grab her, she might be able to jump on the other side and push them back into her team. So doesn't get grabbed, though. Not really the goal she was looking for. And they weren't able to catch anybody, and they did lose the inhibitor. So still, even though Purple Team seems to be doing quite well, they are ahead on the kills. They did take the Baron buff. They still need to get to the base, and they need to take down these inhibitors. No matter how well you do, if you're not pushing down towers and you're not taking inhibitors, you're not going to win the game. And that's why sometimes you see those teams that'll be really far behind, but you have somebody who's just staying in one lane pushing the whole time, like a Sivir or Twisted Fate, and they just continue taking that towers, and they eventually win the game like that. And that is definitely a viable strategy, not actually fighting, but just wanting to push towers. I think that's it also used to be the old Teemo strategy of the Rain Man, if you're familiar with him. When he used to play Teemos, he would never join the team fights except for when he knew it was going to be beneficial to him. And he would just stay up top lane, place down shoot. Oh, nice grab from that Blitzcrank, pulling him over the wall, but unfortunately not the right target, as Olaf is just way too tanky right now. And so they weren't even able to take him down to half HP. Yeah, look at that. He's got close to 200 armor, almost 150 magic resist, and almost 3,000 HP as well. And add on to that his his lifesteal. It's going to be really hard to take him down. I like this. He actually picked up a Hex Drinker. So let's say he gets jumped onto by Kassadin and his health gets really low. He's going to have that extra little magic damage bubble shield. Also, another thing to mention is that Gangplank actually does a massive amount of damage with his ultimate, and that's all magic damage. So the Hex Drinker does help significantly with the Gangplank ultimate as well. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. All right, right now it looks like both teams are kind of just farming up the waves and looking for the appropriate moment to strike. I am pretty sure that they both know that the next team fight could possibly seal the deal for the rest of the game. And really, it's at the point. I mean, it's 40 minutes into the game. Both teams have most of the items that they need to really push in and win. So if anyone gets caught here, like if Jenna gets caught, pulled over the wall, oh, and she could get caught here. It looks like she is going to get grabbed, and this is going to be really bad. She actually gets away from that somehow. He's going to continue chasing. This could be bad. Everybody's splitting up like cockroaches right now. It's really crazy. And another pull over the wall. Machino's able to take out the Blitzcrank, and there goes Panda with her GA, and she's going to fall very quickly to this. Boom! But now it's Fulkin taking out the Vayne. She does fall, and now Gangplank going to die as well as he gets picked up by, I believe it was Lux as well on her. So Serial Kill's now up 7-5-7, and Cassidy wasn't even in that fight. He's up top. I don't know why. I mean, that inhibitor's already down, so I'm not sure the reasoning behind that, and that's so unfortunate. Like, if they had been grouped up there, that Cassidy would have been able to make such a huge difference. And that's exactly what I was talking about. I mean, you can't, at this point in the game, you can't make those kind of the decisions where you're not grouped up with your team and then your team goes and gets grabbed and caught into a bad situation. So right now, and this is actually proving my point that I was talking about earlier about pushing the towers. Corky's actually saying, hey, you're playing their game right now. You have to push to win. And that is so true. Regardless of the fact that they just won that fight, they are still behind because Blue team has an inhibitor down on them, and they haven't even taken down the tower to get to the inhibitor. And then top lane, they haven't even taken down the tower, the first tower in the first place. They haven't even gotten there. So, so if it continues on like this, honestly, Blue team will probably win. So it's going to be up to Purple team to actually get together and push and win. Push to win. Now, this Baron buff is up. They're going to need to get a ward down there. It doesn't look like Corky's going to be able to do it. He's got all of his item slots used up, and that's fine. Usually as an AD carry late game, you're not going to have any item slots ready to go if you're playing it correctly. Here comes Janna. She does have the wards. She's got her Oracle. She's going to be able to see that. And they have not started Baron, so they're good to go. And we should see a Baron fight starting soon. This could be the final fight of the game. Whoever wins this fight might actually go on to push the rest of the base. Oracle's coming in handy there as Blue team will not be able to see them on the other side, and that is very important. If you start a Baron and the enemy team is right on the other side, you're really risking losing that. So you can't really start Baron, not to mention the fact that Baron does so much damage that they can just literally walk around and completely destroy your whole team. There we go. Oracle is going to be used by Blitzcrank, and they are going to start that Baron, so they're going to go for the risk and try and pick that up, and they're doing quite a bit of damage to it. They're going to need to get in here quickly. Purple's going to lose this Baron if they're not fast enough, and here comes Pantheon going to come in here. Oh, and a steal from Lux again! The second laser still onto the Baron. I can't believe that happened again. They just are not able to get that in time. They're going to jump in here and try and finish these guys off. Looks like the Blitzcrank is going to fall and lose yet another Oracles, and that is such a sick play by Purple team. Not only are they able to kill off the Baron themselves, they're able to pick up a kill onto the Blitzcrank, and finally it looks like they might be able to take down this turret, and they're going to kill Immortal Panda. Oh, actually Immortal Panda was able to kill Pantheon, so that dive attempt was not successful. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get that, and plus these super creeps are not helping out at all. They're doing so much damage at this point. Looks like Lux is like, screw you guys, I'm going to get back to base. I got a Baron, I'm good. Definitely don't want to lose that Baron buff once you have it. If they could just group back up, once Pantheon comes up, they need to push the lanes down, and they need to win this game. They're in a situation where they can definitely do that right now. If Blue team comes back in and they push all the way through at the top, I mean, that's dangerous for them, so they're just going to have to watch out for that. I'm not sure what the timer is on Immortal Panda's Guardian Angel. She lost that quite a while ago, so I imagine that's going to be up pretty soon. They really need to push that in while the Guardian Angel's down, or it's going to be a lot harder for them to win that next team fight. Now, luckily, they do have Corky's Guardian Angel up, so you know, if hers does come up, they can probably be okay. Oh, actually, she gets killed. She got sniped from over the wall. She had the ward right there, and it looks like she was backing out or something like that. And she didn't, like I said, she didn't have her Guardian Angel up, and she had her Lux laser up just in time, it looks like, and was able to snipe her out. That is sick. All right, so nice play there overall. It might not have been a snipe. Maybe she just walked up and used her binding, because it looks like her her ultimate wasn't up on cooldown. So either way, just shows you how important wards are in the map. And oh, nice snipe. Oh, once again, so much damage, completely destroys Cassidy as he falls. And now they're going to be chasing this in. This is looking really bad for blue team. And down goes the Master Yi. And oh my goodness, these guys are just getting caught left and right. And they've already lost, looks like, what, 3 people all by themselves, not even in a team fight. These guys are just falling apart right now, and I think this is going to be the end of the game if they just push this in. They've got Baron buff, they've got the creeps coming in on their side, and they can possibly come in and just tank these towers down and push them in for the win. How much time do they have for everyone to get up? Okay, so Vayne is going to be up in just a few seconds, and you've got about 40 seconds on the next 2. But if they play this correctly, they might be able to do a little bit of damage on these middle towers. They're going to have to play it safe, though. Luckily, they are all at full health, and they're doing quite a bit of damage on these towers. They took it down extremely quickly, and I don't know, are they going to dive this? Oh, look at that snipe once again. Boom! Taken down, and I think they can finish it up right here. They've got so much attack damage. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to stop this. Vayne is back up, but she just can't do anything about it, and that's going to be the Nexus, and that's going to be GG for the blue team. Such great play by that Lux, guys. Definitely give it a round for that. So many snipes, so many Baron steals that game. And that just shows, you know, the joy of playing some Lux right there. So definitely thank you guys for watching the match. And next up, we're going to have Wired. So stay tuned. Or, you know, if you're watching this on Twitch, click on the PAX still up top and go check out their channel. For everyone here, thank you guys for watching the match. Hope you enjoyed it as well.
This is Ocelot.